I didn't know about the whole catch on fire thing. Like those who know fear will
burn at the touch of the man thing.
Burn at the touch of the man thing. Which, by the way, I'm using that the next time I'm about to do the deed.
Wow.
Yeah, totally using that.
I feel like burning's the last thing you want to mention whenever you're about to do it.
Whisper that right into her ear.
Burn at the touch of the man.
She'd be like, "Get off of me."
I'm going to do it more.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Welcome to the show. This is episode 22 of Volume 2 of Grown-up Human Comic People. Well, let's introduce all. Actually, let's get a little cheers here since we all have our glasses out, gentlemen. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Thanks again for those glasses, Becky.
Mm-hmm. They're wonderful. You can pick them up at one of the locations we're about to mention. So we're the humans. To my left, Dan. Say hello. J-Man.
Hey.
Greg.
That's me.
I'm Jared. We are, once again, the humans. You can find us at grownuphumans.com. You can find us at epiccastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. We're on iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud at Grownup Human Comic People. And Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Grownup Humans. Let's get these plugs in here. Let's get these plugs in. We talked about that before. So, Dan, give us the shop. Tell us the shop. Tell us about the shop.
Southside Comics. All the books we talk about, you can get there or on the website. The store is located 1931 East Carson Street in the historic district of the South Side. The website, SouthsideComicsPGH.com. You can order, we can mail it, you can pick it up at the store, you can subscribe, you can do all sorts of things. So
the website's real nice.
Check us out.
Yeah, you can go in there and order all your stuff directly from the Diamond catalog.
Yeah,
most comic book sites don't let you just do that.
No, anything that's in print, I can get you.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Go to radicaltrivia.com if you're in Pittsburgh, you want to check out some sweet trivia shows, maybe go out and test your knowledge against strangers or friends or whoever, while some asshole on a microphone swears at you, and you drink beers and other drinks and maybe food, depending on where you are. It's a lot of fun. So go to radicaltrivia.com. Check that shit out. Who wants to say about the band? Greg, you want to do it? J-Man, who wants to do it?
I could do the band.
Do the band.
Yeah. There's a band. It's called Midnight Rose. That's MIDKNIGHT. They're pretty good, pretty neat. They just happen to have three of the people sitting here in it. It's the three of us, myself, Jared, and this other fellow named Chuck. And
who may or may not exist, according to Becky.
Yeah, right. A ghost,
yes.
as I've been told.
Yes.
Anyway. Coming to a stage near you. There's... be probably playing a couple of festivals sometime this summer, and but hey, there's still time if you want to throw a house party and have a basement show. Just let us know.
Yep, we can do that.
Yeah,
we're actually really good at doing that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So
Never done that before. What do you mean?
We threw a house party. Yeah, remember the at CMU that time.
Oh, we didn't throw.
Oh,
yeah.
We didn't throw the party, but we were
hard.
at a party. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a party,
That's kind of different. That's not really a house party. That was like at a fraternity.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever. It was
Okay.
It was a
We were
party.
saying we play college
parties.
parties too. Is
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, we do parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to have like a sweet '90s old school style party with a band, with an actual band in it, we will gladly oblige you on that.
We're no stranger to solo cups.
We are not. We are quite fine with that. Also, go to metamesh.org. Metamesh bringing free wireless to underprivileged communities, which is a good thing. Becky and Monkey do that. Shout out to them who are not here. Check out metamesh.org. First segment, we got Shop Talk, and we just recorded a little. Before we started doing this, we recorded a little tag. We're going to start doing little tags before each segment, so you know exactly where you're going. So, Jay, hit us with that Shop Talk tag right here. Bam. It's Shop Talk. Shop Talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah,
what's going on?
Wow, where to start? So right now, Superman is excellent. Have you been reading Superman, Jared?
Yeah, I have. I have the next one in my stack. I think I haven't gotten to it yet, though.
It is a 4-part crossover between Action Comics and Superman, and it is called Superman Reborn. It is describing how this particular Superman, ended up where he is. It gets more into, why he has a son and Lois is there and they're married because that was not what was status quo, a year ago. So it's very cool. There's a cool little reveal. It's like a blend of like modern comics and like that goofy Silver Age Superman feel because Mitzel Splitzik is in it, or Mr. Splitzik, or however the fuck you say it. And there's actually a little backup in Action Comics 975, which is very meta, and it talks about how his name is pronounced differently in all kinds of different examples.
Okay, Mixus-Pitalik, I think it is.
Mixus-Pitalik.
Mixus-Pitalik, I think is how you're supposed to say it.
It's ridiculous.
Well, some writer just like slammed their back in the day slammed their hand down on their typewriter and like, all those letters came up and they were like, yeah, good enough.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So that's really good. There are hints of Dr. Manhattan in it.
Nice.
It's not over yet, so I don't know if he's going to be revealed. But the next step towards bringing the Watchmen into the fold is the Button, which comes out in April. Yes. So the Batman and Flash crossover, just determining how the Button ended up in the Batcave, the Watchmen comedian Button, of course, and I hear the Justice Society's coming back. So
nice.
That's all that's going on in DC. In Marvel's realm, the strong rumor is they are going to return to a more meat and potatoes legacy characters approach.
Fucking good.
Yeah, starting after Secret Empire, they're also going to supposedly return to legacy numbering.
Oh, that's cool.
Do away with volumes altogether. No more volumes. Nice. They're just going to say, like, okay, it's in the first one that's coming is Venom 150. That's the next issue. It would have been Venom 6 volume blah blah, but they're going to Venom 150. So that is their way of sort of kicking off this meat and potatoes approach instead of doing number ones because they've done that so many times.
People are starting to see through it.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, they started. It was so brazen where it was like issue 7, but number 1 because this is the start of a new arc.
Oh, that was the worst.
What the fuck? No, it's issue 7, dude. Like what? And then the next one's 8. Like so we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 8. What?
See, and it's like their rationale was like, well, if you put a number 1 on it, it'll like attract people. It'll bump sales.
Yeah.
It doesn't create long-term sales though, because the sales like 1 to 2, like you plan for like a 15 to 30% drop. 2 to 3, another 15 to 30% drop, and then by issue 4, you're ordering like 60% less of what you order for number 1 because people don't read beyond that.
Right.
If you just it's like in doing so, in rolling out number 1s all the time or putting number 1s on the cover, they almost like created that marketplace.
Yeah.
They determined the fate of their comics by doing so. If you just stuck to your numbers and told good stories,
right,
and put quality people, writers and artists in charge of what's going on, and you wouldn't have those significant drops.
Well, yeah, if you have a strong story going and like interesting things are happening, especially things if it's like a legacy situation where like whatever happens matters to the entire universe or whatever. It's like back in the day, giving a good example, like one of the classic stories, like a Spider-Man story, said whenever Harry takes over as the Green Goblin, like that issue's worth some money because that's one that everybody knows because like well established in like movies and shit. Because it's a good turn, like it's like oh shit, Harry's the Green Goblin now.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah, this matters. So
I don't need a number 1 to say it's a big deal.
Right? Yeah, it doesn't say like this is the start of the new arc or whatever. It's just like oh my god, Harry Osborn are you the Green Goblin now? Like that's the front of the comic. And people like they want that issue still because it's important.
DC's doing something like they'll put the title of the story arc on the cover and say like part 1 or part 2 or part 3. I like that because it's it's easy to like someone comes in their store, they're like, I want to read Green Lantern. I don't know where to start. Well, if you want to start like right away, here's part 1 of the new story arc. You can jump in here, and then if you like it, you can go back and read past things.
Right.
But it still has like the number 17 on it. So it's not part 1, number 1 of the new Green Lantern story series.
And it gets confusing, and then like you're driving down the value of like number ones.
Yes.
On just kind of generally, which is annoying.
Absolutely, and you lose and you lose the faith of the retailers. This is something that I'm learning more and more about as I'm in this position. I don't buy into it as much as I did when I was on the consumer side. Now it's just like, really? Another number 1? Like, how do I plan to buy this? Like, there's no data, there's no sales data that I can use to plan how I'm going to order this book. So, I either over order or under order. Every like once in a blue moon I get the number right, but it's like it's a crapshoot. It's like, okay, totally awesome Hulk. Okay,
Buy it.
Should I order it based on Hulk? No, because it's not Bruce Banner. It's Amadeus Cho. Do I have any sales data on Amadeus Cho? No. Okay, it's the number 1, but it's a shitty character. Yeah, I'll order 10. Whatever. If I sell out, I sell out. If I don't, I didn't. Like lose my my ass in the deal because I only ordered 10.
Right.
But if it was just a concurring series, if Amadeus Cho is becoming the Hulk in issue 746, I could look at issues 745 sales and say, okay, I sold 22 of that.
Right.
I might attract new people because it's the first time Amadeus Cho is a Hulk, so I will add 20% to my order of 22. It just makes it so much easier all around, and it makes comic books more accessible to everybody.
Right.
Because the stores didn't underorder, or the stores didn't overorder, and then eventually they go out of business because they overordered so many comics.
Or you underordered something like, for example, that was Inhumans 11 or whatever it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like nobody had any idea that was going to be a thing where it was like that's the first appearance of Mosaic.
I had no clue.
You had no idea. So it's like, okay, well,
I sell 3.
Yeah, it's like you would have sold fucking 50 of them.
I would have. Yeah, I definitely would have. Because all week people were coming in looking for that because it was the first appearance of a character. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hope all the rumors are true, that they are going to bring back the legacy characters, some more meat and potatoes approach. I don't, I'm not opposed to having new characters, but don't replace the old characters with new characters.
We've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
Stop with the. It's like we're gonna make the Punisher is going to be like an old black lady now. Which, actually, now that I say that, would be fucking awesome.
I could kind of get behind that.
Yeah.
Who's the comedian, the black Wanda Sykes?
Oh, my God. As the Punisher would be fucking amazing.
Wanda Sykes as the Punisher.
That would be
Francine
cool.
Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, Francine.
That I could do with.
Saw a lot of those.
Yeah. Just put her in that leather coat.
See this Pacum Parabellum, motherfucker.
So that's shop talk. If Marvel does do this and it's successful, it could really reinvigorate the comic book industry, because right now, I know that a lot of stores, not a lot, but there were probably a dozen stores across the country that closed at the turn of the new year, and the general consensus amongst retailers was, well, I don't want to necessarily blame Marvel for everything, but they had a big part in it, because you bring people, like, if people are excited to read Marvel books, they come into your store.
Yeah.
If they have nothing to read from Marvel, they don't come into your store. And when they don't come in, you lose that extra sale. You lose someone picking up a book like Royal City because it's sitting at the front or because I tell them it's good. Like, you lose that extra sale, that extra incentive to order books like this and to push books like this, because people stop coming in because I don't give a fuck about what the Avengers are doing right now because that's not my Avengers.
Right.
So it could really help just everything.
Yeah.
And I hope they get it right. I fucking hope they do.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to see, old school Marvel shit back. Do that again.
Yeah.
Quit fucking up.
Bring back fucking Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Did you see the Ghost Rider book got canned?
Oh, really?
Issue 5.
God
done.
damn it.
They canceled issue 6.
Wow.
They said issue 5 is it.
They made it to 5. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Well, because it took them like 3 issues for the Ghost Rider to become part of the story. Like,
horrible.
the first 2 issues is just fucking totally awesome Hulk and X-23 fighting a random monster, and then like Ghost Rider's in the last page. You're like, okay, what is happening? This is a Ghost Rider book. Why is he not in the book? Same with like the new Hulk, like She-Hulk. I still haven't seen her be Hulk yet. I'm interested in the story still, but it's a cool story kind of. But like, she's not the Hulk yet. She hasn't hulked out at all.
Yeah,
I hated that. And it's a Hulk book. It's not a She-Hulk book.
Right.
It was labeled as a Hulk book, and you open it up in She-Hulk's, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I don't mind that so much as if she was actually the Hulk, it'd be fine. But like, she's not even the Hulk. She's not even She-Hulk. She's just Jennifer Walters. Yeah.
They ruined that character.
Yeah.
I would love to see Bruce Banner come back.
Well, he's going to come
Yeah.
back. Everybody comes back.
Rage out. And be like, fuck this planet. Kind of like Planet Hulk, but a little bit differently. And then he just goes around the galaxy to different planets and just beats the shit out of monsters and warlords and all kinds of things. And it's no holds barred, and it doesn't matter if he wrecks shit because it's not Earth. Just let the Hulk be the Hulk. Rage.
I'm trying to think of a good Guardians of the Galaxy / Hulk mashup titles where it's just him as all the Guardians.
It would be kind of cool if like the Guardians were chasing him through the cosmos to sort of slow him down, because he's not like Galactus. He's just going around like
He's just smashing stuff.
doling out his type of justice.
He's just breaking everyone's shit.
Yeah.
He's causing a lot of damage. Yeah, he's not destroying planets, but he's just causing a lot of damage.
Right.
That's really funny. It's property damage. Galactic property damage.
Anyways, if you want to nerd out about shit, come on down. I'll talk your
Yeah, we'll talk all the time. Yeah.
I love it. Jared's in the store often, and
Yeah.
we do this often.
Yeah, and if you're looking for something, we'll help you out too. Like the other day, two younger girls came in. And they were like, "Well, my boyfriend wants something," and you're like, "How? Does he like? Well, did you see Old Man Logan or Logan?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, well, yeah, just grab him that trade paperback over there."
He was like, yeah,
She
how
did.
much you want to spend? I don't care. Here you go.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, that was easy." I'm like, "Yeah, we make it easy here." So people always think I work there.
And when they left, we overheard them saying, "Well, that was way easier than we thought," because they were really hesitant to come in.
Yeah, they
You
were.
know, they were. Because we were sitting at the table, the chairs and table by the window, and they were reluctant to walk through.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, but hey, they literally had to spend less than 5 minutes in there.
Right.
But I mean, if you want to come out and hang out for longer, we'll be more than happy to talk to you.
We got chairs.
Yeah.
We got a table.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yep.
got lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. We have so many things to talk about. And some people do take advantage, maybe even more than they maybe should. Sometimes.
Agreed. I walked out of that one conversation you were in.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You just look at the other person and you're like, sorry, man, I got to bail. This is on you.
Godspeed.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the first book. We're switching up our format a little bit here. We're going to do segments in between our books, so that we've had some requests from people who have been listening that said we've gotten away from focusing on the book so much, which is one kind of viewpoint. Another viewpoint is some people just like us when we bullshit. So we're kind of going to intersperse those two things,
Mix it together
so that everyone is hopefully happy. And if you don't like it, well, you can get out.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So the first book, Dan, Royal City.
Royal City, yes. This came out about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks from the podcast drops. It is the newest written and illustrated comic by Jeff Lemire. We definitely have praised his work in the past on the podcast. This For $4.99. It's a double issue. It's pretty thick. It's an Image comic, so there's no advertisements in the interiors. When a book like this comes out, I always order heavy because Jeff Lemire is well known, but he wrote and drew this book, and after I finished it, I just really, like a kind of like a fist pump for Jeff, because this has to be difficult to write and draw your own book.
Oh, yeah.
And this isn't the only thing he's doing on a monthly basis. He puts out, he's doing Bloodshot for Valiant. He's has Descender that hasn't missed a month, I feel like, for Image.
Yeah.
He is finishing up Old Man Logan and Moon Knight. Extraordinary X-Men. He co-wrote IVX for Marvel. I know there's something. Black Hammer. We talked about Black Hammer for Dark Horse, and that, I don't think that has missed a month yet either. He's just one of the hardest working people in the industry, and I appreciate that, because that's what helps me keep the lights on.
Yeah.
This book.
You hear that, Fraction?
Yeah. Where'd you go, pal?
You dick.
Fucking what a dick! His Iron Man run was so good. Sex Criminals is back.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's got two issues in 2 months. So
yeah, and I mean, Hawkeye
kudos.
was amazing.
Yeah, that Hawkeye run was great.
Yeah, sorry, Matt, Fraction, you do great work. We're only upset because there's not more of it.
Yeah,
we're not pissed at you. I mean, we're only pissed at you because of that. We want more of your stuff.
I would love to hear why he quit Marvel.
Yeah,
because he's not allowed to say why.
Right.
There's something in the contract. You're not allowed to disclose why you left the company.
Well, here's what we should do. Every time we do an episode, we should just make up a different reason why he left Marvel, and then he can clear it up, and we'll just treat it like that's the truth.
Yeah.
I heard that he was being sexually harassed in the office.
I was about to say that exact same thing.
Yeah, I heard that
seriously was.
By Ike Perlmutter.
Yeah.
That fucking right-wing piece of shit.
Yep. Yeah. Driving Matt Fraction out of the Marvel office was fucked up.
I heard he was just sticking his pinky out towards his butt.
Right. Yeah. Not up his butt, but close enough.
Around.
Yeah, around it. Around the outside.
Jerk.
Yeah.
It started with the glances that were too long in the restroom at the urinal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the finger came out.
Yeah. The finger starts coming out.
Yep. Yeah. I like how we've gotten to a point where we're talking about Matt Fraction being sexually harassed on Marvel.
Hey, you're free to come on and clear the air.
Yeah. It's next episode, we'll be back with a different story about you getting...
As new details arise, we will be the first to report. So come here first for your information about Matt Fraction.
Fraction. That segment's going to be called Fraction Facts.
I heard somebody did something to his shoes too, but I'll leave that for next time.
Wait, pissed on his shoes or in his shoes?
Did something to his shoes. I'm going to leave that hanging.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Back to Royal City.
Royal City.
Yeah. So Royal City it has to do with a family, the Pike family, and the father of the family suffers a stroke in the early pages of the story. His wife is kind of giving him a hard time, and he retreats to his man cave / shed in the back, which is filled with lots of radios, which I think is going to be an important point in the story later. And he hears somebody's voice that he knows, and he identifies that person as Tommy, and he falls over into a stroke. So, after that, it's welcome to Royal City, and we get in and we meet some other characters in the family. We meet a brother who is driving into town, and he is an author of some sort, and he's having some trouble meeting his deadlines. And
I assume that was kind of his stand-in, Lemire's stand-in, character for his personal feelings.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. And as he's driving, he sees someone in the road, and he thinks it's Tommy. So that's two characters that are, seeing or hearing this person named Tommy. So at that point, you get the feel that there's a little supernatural eeriness to the story. And after that, we meet his sister. I don't know the names. I'm sorry. His sister, and she is trying to close a deal with the people that own this plant. She wants to basically use the land to create a golf course resort to sort of reinvigorate the city. And she's given this good pitch, and it seems like it's going well. And we find out that her husband actually works in the plant, and he resents her for trying to do this because even though they'll be better off if she closes this deal, like he's not very thrilled about it. And we also discover that her other brother works with her husband in the plant, but he didn't show up to work because
he's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit, and we meet him, and he's drinking, and he's hanging out with someone who, we later discover that it is Tommy.
Right. He says he calls him Tommy, right?
Yeah, he calls him Tommy, and I'm pretty sure he calls him Tommy
In that scene, I believe.
Yeah, I think he does.
on the couch, right? Yeah. So after that, we go to the mother that we met early in the story, and she is in the hospital praying over her husband, who is he's unconscious because he had a stroke, and she's praying with Tommy. So all these different people are seeing Tommy, and every time he's being shown, he looks different. So something's up here, and eventually it goes back to the sister, and she is at home, and she is talking to Tommy. So there's a mystery. Like, why is this character Tommy, appearing to these people in this family in different ways? And at the end of the book, we discover, there's a scene where one of the brothers is at Tommy's grave. So he's been, he passed away some time ago. So
I think we can assume that he drowned because they keep seeing him with bubbles.
yes, yeah,
he's. I like the idea that they're all seeing him as a different person.
and in that graveyard scene, he's shown in all the different ways that he's been drawn. So every different age of Tommy is there. So
Yeah, and some of this, and they're all wildly different. Like the one of them is a priest, and one of them is like a deadbeat, like the one brother. So they're all clearly projecting
what they
themselves.
want him to be,
Yeah.
what they think he would be.
But the mother wants him to be the good boy that prays with her, and the piece of shit brother wants him to be his drinking buddy. And
Yeah.
It I really enjoyed this book. One, my son's name is Tommy, so like the whole dead thing like hit me in the feels. But two, after I read the afterword where Jeff Lemire talks about why he wrote this, I appreciated this book even more because he said he wanted to write a more grounded story in the monthly format. Like, he's done stuff like this before in graphic novel form. Roughneck, I think was one. I didn't read
that.
Underwater Welder, I read that. It reminded me of this very Twilight Zone storytelling, and it was really good. But he wrote it as a graphic novel, and he said he wanted to try the grounded storytelling in the monthly comic form because it's something that's not really done that often. Even though there's a little supernatural element here, we don't know exactly what's going on.
Right.
But there's no like monsters or aliens or anything like that or demons, which seems to be very common in a lot of creator-owned work, especially with Image. I mean, everything you read with Image has a demon, an alien, or a combination of both.
That's pretty accurate, I'd say.
There's always. It's not grounded in a lot of stuff is not grounded in reality, so that's why I really like this book. And the size of it was good. It was a double issue, so you really got the feel for where the story, what the story is trying to do, which is important when you're trying to grab an audience, and get them to come back the next month for the next installment.
Yeah, I felt like the art, and the fact that it was a longer book, really brought you into like the feeling of like what Royal City is. Like it really feels like a Jersey town or something.
Yes,
it's like a kind of run down, like the mill's about to go out or whatever. And I thought I think the atmosphere of this book was really great.
I mean, it reminded me of some areas around here, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And from the cover, I'm wondering if whatever the plant does, if maybe something that's happening there has something to do with these people seeing this stuff.
Oh, interesting theory. Yeah,
because the brother obviously starts seeing him when he gets back into town. So wondering if the town itself is somehow making people see whatever hallucinations or something, or if Tommy is actually physically there, is in some in spirit somehow, and manifesting and showing himself to different people in different ways.
It's weird because I did not the brother, when he's driving back into town and he sees him in the road, he's surprised by it. When the dad hears him on the radio, he's surprised by it. But the mother, when she's praying with Tommy, it's not odd.
She's not surprised. And the other brother, who's a piece of shit, is not surprised. He's just casually talking to him as if it happens all the time.
Yeah. I just realized that, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes.
And again, super talented.
Yeah.
Jeff Lemire. This art is wonderful to look at.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so unique.
I bet Jeff Lemire doesn't allow, small things like sexual harassment to get in the way of his work.
No, Matt. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Matt.
You dick. So will you guys continue to read this?
Absolutely.
Yes, Dan?
No, I won't.
No? You didn't like it?
No, the problem I had with it, I like the supernatural part of it, but I didn't care for the long scenes of here's in the hospital where the dad had the stroke and we're going to talk for an hour about this, and it was just and then her in that meeting with her company or whatever, it was just it was so boring.
Oh, this is definitely a different type of storytelling for sure. Yeah.
I'm wondering if they did some of that stuff on purpose to make you feel the weight of the town. Like stuff here. Some of the stuff just sucks. And, this place sucks. Everybody here hates it.
Yeah, you work in a mill.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah. And I sometimes I feel like storytellers do that on purpose, where they try to slog you down with something to make you feel a particular way as you're reading the story. And I think that's a great strategy. But sometimes I think it's not on purpose and it's just bad writing. But
it's a gamble either way.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm sure if you do that on purpose and people don't get it, then you're you just seem like a bad writer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Greg?
I'm interested in it. It's, not surprisingly, it reminds me of how I felt on AD, which also has some...
It's the same
supernatural. Yeah.
Same writer.
And same writer, artist, yeah.
Artist, yeah.
My instinct is to think that if there's the follow-up probably won't have as much slogging bogging down. It's now that they've kind of established the environment and then shown what was different about it, like the in the beginning of any movie, it's they show the main character in their home environment until the catalyst pushes them into whatever that story arc is. We've already seen all these characters in their natural state of being, and then now I feel like I would bet that the follow up to this is going to move forward more.
Yeah. I'll read the next one. I'm definitely going to read the next one. I thought it was cool. Good job, Jeff.
Yep.
Sorry, Matt. All right, let's go on to. We have another little tag here for this next segment. What do you say when stuff's bringing you down? Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
There you go.
Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're still going?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We got to fuck 'em. Dan, you got to...
Yeah, this is a fuck 'em to early reviews. This has to do with what we're going to be talking about later in a What's Doing segment. I hate early reviews. One, the sample size is small. So, when take Iron Fist, for example, they release the first 6 episodes to the early reviewers.
To the press,
to what's considered the press, and they review the show, and it's, I would imagine, a race to get your views out online, and I feel like whatever the first couple people, whoever gets the punch first, they establish a mindset, the feeling, the expectation, and any further early reviews that come out, have to try to piggyback off that if they want to get the clicks and the media attention.
Yeah.
And if they try to, go against it, put yourself in the position as an audience. Like you Google Iron Fist reviews, and a bunch of hits come up, and 5 of the 6, first ones are negative, and then there's one positive one. You're probably gonna look to the negative ones, unless you're like a higher thinker. Then maybe you go to the positive one, and then you go back to the negative. But it creates like a certain way, an expectation,
perception.
So when you, as a regular public viewer, go into it, like you're always like having to combat this. Well, I kind of like this, or okay, I kind of like see this is bad, but I'm enjoying this part. But fucking all these people said it was bad, and then the Rotten Tomatoes score is so bad, and that's what everybody in conversation says. The Rotten Tomatoes score is in the 16%, so it must suck. It's just like, what? How can you say? How can you even assign it a score when you've only seen fucking half the season? Like, that's one act and another half of an act of a show. Like, there's so much more content out there. Like, if you're saying you didn't like the start of the show, just say it. But you shouldn't be able to deem that the whole show's garbage and trash, and you shouldn't be able to, give a Rotten Tomatoes score that fucking like kills any potential interest for this. And the same goes for movies too. Like, the press gets to see movies a week early, and it kills any interest you might have towards a movie.
Yeah.
Like Kong, for example. The Rotten Tomatoes score, last time I checked, was somewhere in the 70s.
That's not bad for a movie like that.
Not bad. But, like the reviews weren't super kind, the ones that I read. So it kind of like killed my drive to go to the movie theater.
That's why I don't look at those fucking reviews.
It's so hard, man.
I don't look at that shit. Well, you love spoilers. You let people spoil shit for you all the time.
I do. Just because it's the nature of my job, because I can't suck in all this media at once, like comics and books and movies and television shows. Because the number of people that come into the store who have different tastes, like everyone wants to fucking spitball something different with me.
Yeah.
So I can't keep up. Like, there's no way. I would never sleep. So I don't care about spoilers, but like even like but everything online, like you Google one thing and there's advertisements and links to other things on web pages, so it's hard to avoid. I'm not. It's bullshit because
the internet is like a
troll central.
Well, it's not necessarily trolls. It's just like this like mob mentality where one person's like, "This sucks," and one other person's like, "Yeah," and then everyone's like, "Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, fuck this."
The trendy thing is to bash Iron Fist right now.
Yeah,
because
it happens all the time.
Netflix has killed it for so long, so let's find something to hate. What they do.
Yeah,
you're right. It's a mob mentality, and it's just I'm over it.
That's just how people are. People are like. Most people are like that, but that's how it is.
The problem with that is like it ruins things for people that actually like it, and it also like if I don't know what Netflix plans are for Iron Fist, but if it continues to get trashed, you think they'll do a second season?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they already have so much stuff on their plate. I'm not sure what they're going to do with like all these properties they have. But, like Defenders is mixing all the stuff up. I don't know, but.
The Iron Fist lore is so great. Like, from what I hear, we really don't see much of the heavenly cities or much discussion of it. And it's so rich and diverse, and they could really go in a lot of different ways. But if the early reviews of 6 episodes killed people's interest in the show, and it's getting and bad stars on Netflix and bad reviews continually, will they do it? I don't know. And that's a problem. Like you shouldn't be able to dictate how something is received before you've seen all of it and before everyone else has seen it.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, I just try to not to either read those reviews or let them affect how I feel about something. It's just like to take them with a grain of salt. It's like these people also, a lot of these people probably don't like what I like, the things that I like. Whenever I read a review of like a Schwarzenegger movie or something, and someone's like, is reviewing it as if they're reviewing some kind of very serious drama. Like, okay, you're missing the entire point. Like, this is supposed to be a dumb action movie. Like, it's not supposed. They're not trying for Academy Award here. They're just like, is it cool? Is it like, are there maybe some funny lines in there? Do I give a shit about the main character at all? Like. These it's a different bar, and so like some of these people who are reviewing Iron Fist are probably just like whatever, like reviewers of anything. They're not like comic book stuff reviewers. They're probably just like, oh yeah, I just reviewed Downton Abbey and I'm going to do Iron Fist. It's like, okay, well you maybe you shouldn't do that.
No.
Like,
Funny if they did that in the same day.
Yeah. In fact, I'd like to think that people might think of listening to something like what we're doing right now to get an opinion on something, whether or not they should watch something like that, then go to on a Rotten Tomatoes review where it's not somebody who likes comic books.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So if you're listening to this and you're waiting for a review of Iron Fist, we're gonna get there next episode. And you're welcome.
We viewed some. Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah. So that was fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the next book, Man Thing. We got Man Thing, J-Man.
Let me see the book. I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Man Thing.
Man Thing. If you don't know anything about this character, which I don't know how popular Man Thing is, really, he's basically just Swamp Thing.
Yeah, he's
Swamp Thing. It's a Marvel character. This book's R.L. Stine. Okay.
Heard of him.
Do with that what you will.
Wait a minute. Who's that?
German Peralta and Rachel Rosenberg.
You heard right. R.L. Stine is the author of this book.
Yeah. I don't know what that's all about.
He's probably most well known for writing the series of books called Fear Street.
Yeah. I didn't know he did anything with comics.
I like that both of you guys are just like, wait.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. There might have been a joke in there, but
The joke was I didn't say Goosebumps.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is it.
Okay, I got it.
That was good.
Thank you.
You really happy?
This book is pretty thin.
Yeah.
And it's a Marvel book, too. Come on, Marvel. What are you doing? Because that book that we just reviewed,
Royal City.
Royal City, that's thick as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of pages in
A lot of
that.
stuff
And there's
in there.
not a lot of pages in this, but there's ads all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So you're not getting a whole lot of book out of this one. I don't know this character super well. Like, I know him a little bit,
Yeah.
but I didn't care for this. It starts out with him like being in Hollywood, and then it bounces between him like they're trying to make like it into like a joke thing, like they kind of did with Hercules. Remember we read that?
Yeah.
Like where he's just kind of like lost in this new world,
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do anymore, and then his origin.
Right.
So it bounces between those two things, and the origin's retarded. Like, you don't need that at all. And especially because it doesn't have any pages in it. So that's just a huge fucking waste. Because if you care enough about the character, like if you read this one book and you like the story, you're just
probably
going to go
know it.
online and find out his origin if you don't know it or you already did know it.
Yeah.
And his origin's nothing special.
Yeah. And if the origin, to me, looked mostly like just frames. It wasn't even written, really. It was just like...
It's like a flashback.
R.L. Stine probably just wrote, like, insert piece of origin story here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a weird book. What like in R.L. Stine, like what did he have to read the origin of Man Thing?
I don't know.
And then
I think
rewrite
he's-
it? Like
well,
how does that work?
I'm not sure if he
don't
requested to do this book, because I know he's into like this sort of like swamp horror genre or like whatever. I'm pretty sure like it's a thing that he's really liked for a long time. Because if you remember, there's a couple Goosebumps books that have to do with like swamp things. I don't disagree with you. There's like very little to this first book.
Yeah.
I kind of like the part where he was like in the office and the guy was like, listen, Man Thing, we get it. Like, I like you, but people just aren't connecting with you. It's just being talked at as from like some Hollywood asshole. When like, if that guy touched him, he would literally catch on fire.
Well, yeah, that's the fucking thing. Like, was that? I don't even remember because this book left no like lasting moments on me. But did anybody catch on fire in this book?
I don't think so.
Did the other
because I
Man
don't-
Thing catch on fire?
No, because I don't think anyone was afraid of him. I think that's part
Is
of
that
it.
part of Man
fuck?
Thing's
His-
lore? Is
Yeah, because this is called Those Who Know Fear, because the whatever parable is that those who know fear burn at the touch of the Man Thing, right?
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. And so if you're afraid, I'm not sure if you're just afraid of anything or if you're afraid of him.
I thought you just like anything, like your fears were brought out and you would catch on fire. That's how I always took it.
Right.
And now I'm not up to par on Man Thing. Like I never read the original Man Thing.
Right.
My interpretation of Man Thing comes from the things he shows up in. Like most recently, before I read this, I read him in Old Man Logan, and he was part of the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D., all, the Supernatural division. And they were fighting Dracula and vampires, and he was like the fucking tank of the group.
Yeah,
he came in
all
and he
fire.
fucking caught everyone on fire, and everyone was scared shitless of him, and it was like, holy shit. And he didn't speak, he didn't say anything. He was just, that's Man-Thing. And Wolverine even was kind of afraid of him. So like, I thought going into this book, I'm like, all right, yeah, like Man-Thing, like he's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
2 pages in, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
who was this written for?
Yeah.
Because this is not like, if anyone like loves comics and is up to date on Man-Thing, they just read him in Old Man Logan killing vampires.
Yeah.
That's cool. You go onto this, you're trying to be a fucking C-list Hollywood actor, and you can't even get that done? And the fucking like narration is so poorly written. I don't think R.L. Stine knows how to write comic books based on reading this. Like, he doesn't get the structure and the pacing and how to do exposition and dialogue at the same time. I thought this fucking book was a mess. I was so mad. I read this book. I was so angry because Man-Thing is so cool.
Man, I didn't hate this as much as all that.
I only counted 8 pages of actual story.
Yeah.
I just
Wow.
counted it because, like, if you take out the origin, you take out all the ads, there's only 8 pages of, like, original story in there.
That is terrible.
That is, yeah, that's pathetic.
It's 50 cents per page.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
a $4 book.
I like
Yeah.
I like the idea of the fact that no one's catching on fire because no one's afraid of him, because they're all just like totally, it's Hollywood, they're all jaded, they're just like, this is another weirdo.
I mean, I guess.
I think that's kind of funny.
But wouldn't, like, okay, that's kind of funny, and I agree with you, but if you wanted to tell that story, don't use Man-Thing. Use fucking someone else. Some other goofy Marvel monster that has, like, doesn't really have a place. Why Man-Thing?
I would say Man-Thing definitely doesn't have a place. Like, nobody knows about Man-Thing.
But he's just an Old Man Logan. He's in the Howling Commandos.
When you said earlier that you're not sure who this book was written for, I didn't know that Man-Thing was an entity before just now. Like when I was reading it earlier, I thought it was just some silly like Swamp Thing knockoff, and that's it. And for that, I thought, like, okay, here's a monster-looking guy. Oh, it's actually a guy in a suit. Oh, wait, no, it's not a guy in a suit. That's really, it's the Centipede is the guy in the suit. He's really a Swamp Thing. But he's like interacting and just like that's he's like a circus freak, but instead of being in the circus, he's just exploiting himself in Hollywood. That's fine. I guess I would do that too. And as it goes on, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like a My Life is Shitty sort of story. And I thought, like, okay, the early reviews were in, and Jared didn't like it, and Dan didn't like it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to let those early reviews cloud my judgment.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck them. So
Fuck 'em.
at that point, I decided that, a third into the book and ads, I just decided, like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy this for what it is. But then even by the end of it, he just gets rejected by whatever that agent is or something, and he's just out on the street. And he starts fighting another Man-Thing.
And they have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm fighting my former self. What? No.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. It was stupid. It was completely unexplained, and I don't want to have to wait until the next issue to get the explanation because I'm not going to buy into that. Like, not going to buy that far into it. Now, whenever I said, actually, coming around to what I first opened with, I was hearkening to what you said. You're not sure who this book was written for. I didn't know about the whole catch on fire thing. Like those who know fear will
Burn at the touch of the Man-Thing.
burn at the touch of the Man-Thing. Which, by the way, I'm using that the next time I'm about to do the deed. Yeah, totally using that.
I feel like burning's the last thing you want to like mention whenever you're about to do it.
Whisper that right into her ear.
Burn at the touch of the Man-Thing.
She'd be like, get off of me.
I'm going to do it more. I'm going to do it more for the reaction, the initial reaction, and then the story I can tell afterwards, and less so
That would be
because
a great story.
because
Call the police.
because at that point I'm not expecting it to move forward. But it's like if I have any doubts about the girl by that point, I'm just going to say, all right, throw in this Hail Mary, and I'm going to see what happens. Anyway. But yeah, if I had, like, not knowing the character, didn't know that significance of people should be catching on fire whenever they touch him or see him or whatever, but because nobody's afraid of him, it's not happening. And that's like a new environment that character's in. It's kind of like the Flash, nobody knowing who the Flash is in DC Rebirth or whatever. It's like, oh, this is something different because I have all these expectations, and that's what's being turned upside down. In this case, I don't have any that weight isn't carried at all because I don't have those expectations. I'm not familiar with the character, and anyone who isn't familiar with the character who would get those expectations the cons will outweigh the pros because they'll be more pissed off than anything that the character's being dealt with so poorly. So that's my take on it.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it a lot, but I didn't hate it. I'll check and see about the next one because I like R.L. Stine a lot, so I don't know. I want to give him a chance.
I expected more. I really did.
Well, why don't we just go around and say we're not going to read it?
You just kind of did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't going to read it. It's sloppy.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
I gave it as much faith as I had.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. I'll check out the second one. So we'll see. I feel like
You got a 1-star rating. 1 out of 4.
Get your shit together, Stine. I'll put you in the corner with Fraction.
Yeah, Jesus. It's just goofy approach. I don't like it.
So let's go to our last segment here. This last segment actually goes right into the book. It's Greg definitely read this.
Yes.
So you got the
Yeah, here we go.
All right, so this is a book called Death Be Damned. I'm sorry. All right, so
if we just to recap what we're going to do for the audience, Greg is going to go through and only look at the pictures.
Well, no, I'm going to summarize this book for you, spur of the moment, and because I read it, I definitely did, and I want to give everybody as much of a sort of a synopsis as I can. So, Death Be Damned. This is written by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker.
Holy shit! You just immediately lost it.
I should say the publisher first. It's from Boom Studios, number 1 of 4.
Can you say boom again?
Boom Studios, in case you missed it.
Bitch!
Boom, bitch, get out the way. All right, so multiple authors. It was created by Ben Acker, Ben Blacker, and Andrew Miller. Sorry for the delay, Andrew. Illustrated by Hannah Christensen. Colored, whatever. It's a bunch of other credits. So,
and I don't know that word, and we're going to move on.
So, I like this because, I've always been interested in Native American stories, and kind of the voodoo that's not often told in those stories. Anyway, so here we are. We're on the sort of the Wild West frontier, and you're seeing this first group of characters, but then it just changes locations immediately and somebody's drowning. And then it's just like how some stories they'll show different characters in different locations. So that's 2 right there, and we're already 2 pages into it, so this book moves fast. 3rd page, if anybody read Little House on the Prairie, we're going into that setting right now. It's a old house, and oh man, everything's a mess. And there's a woman who just got shot. Oh no, she's wearing a red tie or whatever. Never mind. So now, disease is rampant here, and there's a guy who's just dead. It's her. Oh, we'll say it's her husband, and she's burying him. And there's now she has a whole farm to take care of. There's a horse out there. She decides to kill the fuck out of this horse. I mean, it's if you like animals, you might not want to look at this page. There's a horse, its throat's all torn apart and everything, and she's.
It looks like she slaps the next horse.
Yeah, I think that was a threat to the second horse because it's like whenever a bad guy has like a gang member wants to keep all of his gang in line, he just kills one guy or beats up one guy.
Yeah,
and he's like, all right, the rest of you better stay in line.
That's to let them know you mean business.
That's right. Yeah. So that's why it's a quick way to break a horse and tame him. So she's riding this other horse.
Like killing another horse in front of that horse. Is that how you break a horse?
You watch yourself, you get what's coming to you. I mean, in a way, it sort of makes sense because she can't ride two horses at once now that her husband's dead as hell. So, so she only has one horse to take care of now. And riding around and interacting with other people. There's oh shoot, what's going on here? God, I can't. Oh, I almost forgot about this scene. Okay, so this is where the voodoo comes in. There's a guy who's got another dead body here, and he just like cuts him open, gets blood all over his hands. Like, this is really weird. Okay, and he just smears blood on his face, and then starts like whispering some stuff. I don't know. There's dialogue here, but it's in a different language. Might be English. And then the body catches fire. I mean, this book is really weird. If you like weird stuff, this might be for you. I had trouble with it, I'm going to say, because I read it multiple times, and it's
He did not.
It's just there's a lot of stuff going on. Little dialogue heavy. I'm going to skip all that. Because but I'm just seeing, there's a guy and a couple of guys in nooses or nooses, and being hanged. Lots of death in this, man. And let's see, I don't know what else. It's like a while before these characters meet up with each other, but it's worth the journey. There's some prostitution going on. There's some.
He's into that.
Yeah. Man. Oh, shotgun. Here's new death scenes. Shotgun blast to the forehead. Forehead blows apart.
It's brutal.
At least he had a prostitute first. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Some dream sequences. Oh, the little centerfold section here. No nudity so far, but we got some
To his disappointment.
whole montage of death here, and here's some nakedness. Well, it's like implied nakedness anyway.
He's erect.
And so what I'm gathering from this, or how best can I get this across? There's some bad guys on the Wild West. There's a crazy woman who kills the men in her life and the horses that they ride on. Another guy that she meets up with who does voodoo and wipes his victim's blood on his face. I don't know. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger where there's a zombie at the end. And by zombie, I mean like Dawn of the Dead or original era zombie, where the faces are just blue. That's their dead makeup. Some dead people. There's some music notes. People are singing songs, and so that's the gist of it anyway. So if that piques your interest, you're right there with me.
Good job. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums
That was
up.
great.
Yeah?
That was great.
Okay.
So that's Death Be Damned.
Thanks, Boom.
Yeah, I liked it. Dan, would you read more?
Nope.
J-Man?
Hell no.
Greg, are you still interested?
I'm gonna have to listen back to what I just said and decide based on that.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. They had this book has some balls to it. The main character, who I presume is one of the main characters, gets shot in the fucking head like about 3/4 of the way through the book, and then wakes up because the other guy revived her somehow. It's pretty crazy. And then you see like the guy who got hung earlier come back to life too. So there's some death hijinks happening. People are dodging the proverbial bullet, not the literal bullets. They're actually getting out the real bullets, but they definitely dodged the
Shotgun pellets to the face.
yes. So that was that.
Dang.
No, I think that's good for this episode. Pretty much.
Yeah, well played.
Yeah. I hope everybody liked the new format. You can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, at iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube at grownuphuman comic people, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at grownuphumans, and go around the table. Everybody say sign it off. Dan?
See you later.
J-Man?
See ya.
Greg?
Until next time.
I'm Jared. We are the Humans, and thank you for listening. And what is proficiency?
Grownup, human, comic.